This isn't going to be in the show, but scroll to the bottom of the soundboard. There are 3 sound bites,
Oh,
one
I
saying
see.
gold member and 2 gold ones.
What's his gold spandu?
Play it and
Spandau.
see.
Gold!
Oh, okay. I know that song.
Everybody knows that song.
Fantastic.
Play the other one.
Gold!
You've actually ripped Austin Powers.
I love it.
All
I've
this
ripped an Austin
time,
Powers
Vassar.
soundbite.
Fantastic.
Gold
Play the
member.
gold member one.
That's quick.
Gold member.
Gold member. He clicked the sound bites and nothing happens.
Yeah, I had to...
Gold!
Ian.
That was me.
I can save my voice. I don't have to do it anymore.
That's why I did it, because I've noticed in the last few weeks it's been getting more and more sort of strained.
Well, last week wasn't great. I will
No.
confirm that. Trying to do that silly voice while slightly broken is...
I'm always slightly broken.
Oh, and Ian, if you need a car reference, you've got the Lotus 211, mate.
No car references this week, lads.
Okay, I'm getting it in early. The Lotus
And if you get
211.
it in, I'm going to cut it out.
No, you can't.
Ian.
Yes, I can.
Ian. Milo. Will...
Anyone tries to sneak it in, I will cut it out.
I thought you liked
We don't
cars,
play that
Ian.
game
I thought
anymore.
You like cars.
I do like cars, but I'm bored of car references now for the last 4 weeks.
Ian.
Ian.
He's not one who can,
It's not like you, Ian.
keep something running. Jeez, some running banter.
Ian, this is unlike you. You like to keep things running, like a finely sports
I don't
car.
like to keep things fresh.
Fresh.
Hence,
What's
the
your
running
next-
order is slightly different to the last.
What's your next numerical banter then? We've ditched the car numbers. What are you going to go for?
I'm just going to say the episode number.
I was thinking you go along the different tech bits that you've purchased over the years. Find yourself something that has 211 in its code.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Ian.
We'll be right
But
back,
this is LA.
listeners.
This is LA themed, so we don't need to today. To be fair,
Actually, before you decide to jump into episode Lotus, Mark, good news.
What?
There's only 2 more studio episodes where we'll be talking about LA, and this is one of them.
until next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it's Milan after next week.
He's all right though for that.
Yeah, he can join in
with-
that one. Yeah.
Plain directions and everything.
On today's show, Mark is at home in his shed, whilst Milo and I are in LA recording next week's show at Unova Tour 2025 in Pasadena, California. This is 211th episode of Incensed Podcast. I'm Ian Wardfall, and with me tonight we have Milo Whitfield, aka Pogo Milo UKYT CA, and Mark Barrow, aka Masterful_27 UK. Boys, how are we doing?
Well, if you're WI because of Wiltshire.
Oh, WI Masterful27 Masterful27 underscore Masterful_27
Come on,
WI. That's a
you
mouthful.
can get
Whitfield.
there.
Do we just want to give people my home address? I've never
Absolutely.
shared exactly where I am in the UK to that specific level of detail.
Why not give out your bank details as well, just on the fly?
No.
Social, like your national insurance number. I don't know. Let's
What
spread
does CA stand
joy.
for, Ian? Is that can't
California.
be asked? Oh,
It's a state.
California.
Complete arse.
Complete arse. Sometimes you are. You was a little bit last week at times.
No,
But now
I
you're
was,
30, so hopefully you've mellowed a little bit.
Not sure about that.
You just turn old like me and Ian, Milo. Just...
I cannot wait.
You're going to start getting aches and pains now, matey.
And he's got those already, Ian. It'll be the other things. He'll just like be ignorant to people. Well, actually, he's already, isn't he? Pretty much like
yeah,
all of us.
actually,
So he's been
It's
round
not the
us long
initials.
enough. He's been round us
It's
long
not
enough.
IA, ignorant arse.
Do it that.
We'll see how we do at the Rose Bowl this weekend, actually, whether the aches and pains come through. Can
They definitely will be
Unova
for me. I can
break
guarantee
me?
it.
Oh,
Luckily, Milo, we've got access to a little bit of R&R in the creator area, so at least we'll be able to put our feet up for a little bit of time.
Yes, if needed. But this weekend, Marky, we will be missing you, especially since the cardboard cutout was too expensive.
Yeah, we went on to order, and the
Seriously,
price
is
that they
this how you're
quoted...
telling me? Is this how you're telling me on the show? You haven't messaged me in advance and said, just to let you know, Mark.
Here's
Nice
the story.
surprise.
So Milo says, I'm going to order cardboard Mark today. So The website said it was 30 quid, and then they charged delivery, and then they charged VAT. So a 30 quid cardboard mark very quickly became nearly 60.
Could you not pick it up in LA to save all that? Could you not have got this ordered from an American company?
We didn't think that far.
That's what I thought you were doing.
CA here. So, yes,
unfortunately. Pack you in Milo's suitcase.
Do you know what Ian wanted to do? He wanted to buy the dinner table cutout, which is basically just your torso. I don't think it even had arms.
That's what we planned,
we
wasn't
can't
it? The half
have,
mark, yes, the half mark, yeah.
We can't have, Mark without his appendages.
So sorry, everyone, we've deprived you the chance of having a photo of me in LA because we haven't got enough Patreon members to cover the cost of me. So in fact,
I'm going to print out a lot of A4 cutouts.
Do you want to know the worst thing? A cardboard you would have cost nearly 10% of the price it would have cost to get you a flight to LA.
It's mad, isn't it? Mad. But then it's half of me. So actually 10% half of me.
No, that was for a full, not quite full, sorry, 6 foot tall Marky.
Ah, dear. Well, anyway, I have to tell my better half now I'm not going to be in LA with you boys. She was quite excited by that. She was getting...
What we'll do is we'll Photoshop you into some photographs.
Perfect.
I'm sure Francesca can jump on one of the MacBooks and Photoshop you into something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyway, thanks for letting me know, boys. That's sad.
Well, we had to let you know, and the best place to do it is in a safe environment that is this show.
There is some kind of logic behind that, Ian, to be fair. So I give you that, mate. I do give you that.
But anyway, we will be thinking of you while we're in LA this weekend, Mark. And who knows, if we're actually feeling particularly mischievous, we might even phone you up.
I might answer it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, people. But anyway, boys, are you ready to get on with tonight's show?
Yes.
It is time for you to...
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your incense.
And of course, if you get something particularly tasty, why not post it on social media, @Incensed Podcast, on either X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, using the hashtag @Incensed Podcast.
Clarify the spelling, please.
Yes, of course we will, Chris and Kyle. That hashtag is SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. Not forgetting there are other ways to contact us, that being our email, contact@incensedpodcast.com, our WhatsApp number, +44 759 269 5696, the contact us button on our podcast platform, or Discord if you are one of our Patreon members. Lots of ways you can contact us, and they will all get through to our beady little eyes. But anyway, as it's Unova Tour weekend, we thought we'd bring the Counter Brothers in to let you know what's best to battle Kyurem, White and Black.
That is right. So, in LA, we would have been battling the fusion forms of Kyurem, the black and the white variants. But obviously, you guys are getting the next weekend for Global Unova Tour. And we'll kick off with Black Kyurem. Now, this thing, they share the same typings as the standard Kyurem. They are Dragon Ice type Pokemon. And we talked about how the fusion thing works and everything like that. The favorite counters are going to be the likes of Steel, Dragon, Fighting, and Fairy type Pokemon. If you don't mind, boys, I will be kicking things off with, in this case, I'm going to go for slot number 2, actually. Duskmane Necrozma is cropping back in. Some of you should have been using that versus Xerneas recently with Metal Claw and Sunsteel Strike. Properly good counter.
He always has to get his Duskmane in, doesn't he? And if
I don't even bother mentioning the cross because you should see Milo's face when somebody steals it from him.
Oh, he gets a little bit protective over it, doesn't he? The big cat.
Don't touch my cat.
Don't touch his cat. Well, anyway, there is one better than Duskmane Necrozma, but it's not the best counter. The best counter is actually a Mega, and that is a Mega Lucario, and that is with the double fighting moveset of Force Palm and its charge attack Aura Sphere.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 great counters. And this one is also on the podium of the top 3. Mega Rayquaza. Everybody loves Rayquaza. Dragon moves you're going to want on this bad boy. And we're looking Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe.
Nice.
Do you know what? Let's throw it back 12 months, or actually 3-4 months, to one of the Tour or Go Wild area events. If you've got yourself an Origin Form Palkia with Dragon Tail and Spatial Rend, that is a pretty solid counter using those dragon moves. Go smash it. Go Spatial Rend it.
It went very posh then.
He did, didn't he, Ian? I thought that was very Milo. That was
Shall
like
I dial it
Biscoff.
up a bit more?
That was
Like Milo
Biscoff.
from 4 years ago.
That was Biscoff Milo, that was.
Bristol Biscoff here.
Well, let's pick one that maybe you
Nice.
haven't played any of these events and all you've got a Community Day Pokemon. Conkeldurr is still a creditable Pokemon to put in there. That's Timber's final evolution. And that again with a double fighting move of Counter and Dynamic Punch.
Good counter. I'm going to
Nice.
actually throw in one because it's Unova Tour this weekend over in LA. 2 years ago when we were in Vegas for Hoenn Tour, well, Primal Groudon was released into game.
Nice.
And for that one, great counter, you're going to want Dragon Tail and Precipice Blades.
I do like that one. It's very tempting to go for Stephen Norway's favourite Pokemon, but I'm actually going to pick the mythical that was from GoFest last year. For some reason, if you've powered up your Marshadow, it's rank 64 with counter and close combat, but can be usable. Very best of luck to you all.
I love it. It can be usable. I think anything can be usable if you've got enough people
Yeah, it might
with
not be
you.
Within
effective.
reason.
It's usable.
Do you want to be carried in the raid?
Well, Milo's turned his back on his Bay, Togekiss, notable mention at the bottom of the list. However, I'm going to pick one that not Aggron, Ian. Very good, very good. Dragonite. Dragonite is in there. If you've got your Dragonite with its double dragon move of Dragon Tail and Outrage, it will do some damage, but probably a little bit less than what Milo just said.
It will, but it will do more damage than the one I'm going to bring. And we've not talked about this Pokemon
Pidgey.
for so long, but I feel it's time to bring back Mega Charizard.
Why? Is an appropriate question.
Yeah, well, out of all of the potential counters, this one ranks at 100. So if you're really scraping the barrel,
It's with
you
the
could
Darth
bring in Mega
moveset
Charizard
too.
Y with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw.
You could literally hit the other Mega Evolve button and get a better counter.
It's actually lower down than
So
Aggron, as Mark
you're
joked
actively
about earlier.
choosing to be stupid with that one.
Yes, but that's not the only version of Kyurem that's actually out this weekend, is it, Whitfield?
It is not the counterpart, White Kyurem, which has a slightly different moveset and slightly different stats, but is still insanely powerful. And realistically, the counters are practically the same, but they are shuffled about a bit because of the movesets and the damage per second, etc.
Shuckled about, did you say there, Milo?
Shuckled about. Funnily enough, if you scroll far enough down, you won't find that on the list. However, you may have a decent one of these. Dragapult with Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe. Rank 28, one off Mark's favourite number, but Ian's favourite number. I like that Pokemon.
28 is a good number.
I'm surprised he went down there. Ian, were you?
Milo does like going down there. I can verify that.
I shall not deny those claims.
Milo
Nice.
almost confirms them live on the podcast. Well, let's pick something that, Milo's kind of giving this one away to us, but we're not going to repeat any Pokemon. Let's go for some different ones. The best Mega that we haven't mentioned so far is Mega Garchomp. That'll do you very well, actually. It's very high up.
Nice.
And that has got a double dragon move of Dragon Tail and Outrage. Not outrageous, Outrage.
Yeah, we'll stick with the Megas, and I am partial to a Salamence, and Mega Salamence is in the top 12, actually. And you know what? You could do worse. Dragon Tail and Outrage. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
You can do worse, and I shall do worse, Vasa. You could utilise Mega Alakazam if you're as mad as a box of frogs. Counter, which is a Community Day exclusive move, I seem to remember on it, and Dazzling Gleam is also a legacy move for Alakazam. So if you feel like it, crack on. Use more spoons.
Spoons.
Well, I've got one here. If you want to flex your wallet in your raid battles for this one, Keldeo is in there in its ordinary form. You should take that one to the party. Yes, it's actually ridiculously high on this list of counters. This is with the double fighting moveset of Low Kick and Sacred Sword. It's ranked 15th. on that list?
Well, I am going right to the bottom of the list, and you must have been dedicated if you are going to use this Pokemon I'm suggesting. Right at the bottom of the list is Zygarde in its complete form with the moveset Dragon Tail and Outrage. And my Zygarde cell box is nowhere near getting the complete form.
Anywho, this Pokemon should have been readily available to you. It's a sort of limited run shiny, but rank 54, Melmetal. Haven't seen that one in the raid counters for a fair while. Thundershock and Double Iron Bash, which looks like a legacy move, so Elite TM on that one. But Melmetal's a bit of a tank. We like a tank. Throw some silverware at it. It's not quite spoons, you know.
Milo's got a theme going on tonight. Well, I've gone from flexing your wallet to flexing your daily incense luck. Yes, ranking 97th on this counter list is Galarian Zapdos. Yes, Galarian Zappy is in there, and you've got a shiny one. What better way to really flex it off by making it feel like it's got a prize in place in your array of Pokemon other than just a medal to look at and be smug about. Galarian Zapdos has a double fighting move of counter and close combat.
Nice.
And the last counter we will talk about tonight, it's just been in raids. Hopefully you got one or two. The incarnate form of Enamorus. Yes, it was Valentine's Day release. Elite raids back in 2024 and just in regular tier 5 raids just last week. Fairy moves on this one, Fairy Wind and Dazzling Gleam.
Nice.
I guess all we can say is very best of luck with your fusion forms. Get your fusion energy, because these two Pokemon are going to take over the dragon and the ice meta quite significantly.
They are. And I'm actually now going to take over asking you boys a question that isn't food related.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed podcast.
Yes, I'm not talking about food. I'm not talking about car models. What is this show becoming? Well, I tell you, we're going to talk about board games, specifically Monopoly, a game
word.
everybody knows. I want to know from you two tonight, in Monopoly, what is your go-to player piece?
Ah, Ian, you have rather shot yourself in the foot, sir, with this one, because my chosen piece
You're going to pick the car, aren't you?
is always the car. And the model of the car is sort of early, 20th century kind of race car. So if you're going to go around the sort of Bugatti Type 37, obviously this isn't episode 37, but it's a very old style car, I will pick it. There
It
isn't
is,
a modern
and you know
version.
what? It's one of the pieces in Monopoly that hasn't changed over the years, because until I started looking at this question, I didn't realize how many pieces they've actually retired and brought new ones in to replace. The
Have they
car
really?
hasn't been replaced.
Oh,
Good
well,
stuff.
that's a good point, Ian, because like the race car is an original piece from the 1930s when Monopoly was created. I think 1935. I think the game was invented. But like you said, over time the piece has very, very slightly changed over the.
yeah.
I think it's the decades. So the car stayed the same. But I think someone was saying that one of the most recent sets, I don't know, it was based on the Lotus 211, I heard them say as well.
Is that true?
It is.
And that will be all beeped out and muffled. Nobody will hear what you just said, Mark. I'll make sure of that.
Ian. Race car, Milo. I can see Ian looking a little bit, he's gone there, and he's flipping well gone there. Now,
He shouldn't have picked the question. Shouldn't have done that.
I think Monopoly is one of those go-to games. It brings back memories of drunken Monopoly where people were playing for real money and it all got a little bit heated. And yeah, everyone was a few pennies down at the end of the night. And buying Mayfair very early on and then realising they couldn't afford to put anything on it. And then it's
Just stuck there with the cards.
yeah, and they're all mortgaged, aren't they? And you look at it and go, keep landing on my squares now. How dare they?
Do you want to know something?
Go for it.
You might actually know this, Mark. Milo might know this. Listeners, you might know this. But the majority of people don't know how to play Monopoly properly. That's why the game lasts so long. If you followed the specific rules of Monopoly, it wouldn't last all day.
Yeah, but what's Monopoly without a bit of a bank robbery?
I used to love it when, a bit like you said there, Ian, you settle down and go, right, this is going to be at least the next 6 hours. And you're like, right, let's start this.
And people are like, can I pay you next time, Raoul? Like, no, that's not the rules.
No, exactly. You owe them about 7 passing goes and you haven't quite done it yet.
Just let me get past. I'll pay you,
dear.
right?
But no, a lot of tokens, as Ian said, retired tokens. Notable mentions of the Iron that was retired in 2013.
Is that really been retired?
Yeah. The boot in 2017.
The boot was always a good one. Yep.
What's it been replaced now? A flip flop.
The T-Rex. I don't remember the T-Rex ever being a piece.
I don't remember the T-Rex.
The
but
T-Rex
it's
has
in
been a
the
piece.
Wikipedia listing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not down to a specific version of the game?
Some
Like-
of
It
them
might
are,
be
I think,
Chris and Kyle again. The Tyrantrum's been retired. All right, Chris. All right, Kyle. Calm yourself down.
Oh no, Mia Mora.
But more concerning, my namesake was retired in 2017. The wheelbarrow, and it lasted.
No.
It lasted from 1940. It wasn't an original piece, but it was in the game very early on. So, my go-to piece though. It was between one of a couple of pieces, and the one I'm going to go for, because I always reference it when I see someone with it in the park or wherever we are, is a Scottish Terrier. I love the little
the
dog.
doggo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The little doggo. It epitomises Monopoly for me. And the Scottish Terrier was actually not an original piece either. That came out in 1950 for you Monopoly lovers. So, but it's still in the game.
Yeah, now I think Francesco would have picked the cat, which I didn't even know that was a piece until I researched this question. There's a few. I do like the car. I have gone for the car in the past. I have gone for the boot in the past, back when it was in the game. But a classic is probably the top hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the top hat still in the selection?
Top hat is still in the game, yes.
Goodness, I'm
One of
surprised
the
that's been
unretired
replaced by a
pieces,
backwards
yes.
baseball
One of the
cap.
original.
Is that in the Detroit version of the game, Milo? Is it the baseball cap? Was that the Croydon version with the
Croydon
snapback?
Monopoly?
The reverse snapback.
Goodness.
Loot bag? No, I didn't say loot bag. I said snapback.
I will be the stab-proof vest.
I hope they arrive.
The snap-proof vest.
That's my
The
favourite
Croydon
piece.
version.
There's so many different versions of Monopoly. There's a Pokemon version of
Yeah,
Monopoly.
there is, yeah.
that's
Star
coming
Wars
out soon.
version. There's,
Yeah.
I remember the Here and Now version where you had your little card machine rather than
There's
actual
the
cash.
cheat version.
Yeah.
There's an official cheat version, which I think is great.
There's the West London version as well. I've heard that's it's got Ealing Borough on it, and
Is it? I wouldn't want to be playing that version right now.
it's got Walpole Park on it, Milo. Now is that the Pokemon Go edition?
Is that one of the middle things that you can purchase? It's not quite the most valuable.
You
up
get to
there, though.
Walpole Park, you take a chance card. You've been stabbed.
That's not in that park. It's different.
Any park, I'd say. Probably for the one in Coventry we went to. I think you'd be needing a lot of chance cards to survive an evening in there.
All these chance cards, they're all the same.
What was your favourite property on the Monopoly board? Even if you had one, was there one that you sort of were drawn to and you went, people might go Mayfair, Park Lane. I get it. They're the purple ones. They're the more valuable ones. But they don't have like one that they liked.
I always like, what was it? Is it Vine Street? Is it one of the
yeah,
orange ones?
The orange
Because
ones, yeah.
That's
The orange
my
ones.
doctor's surgery.
They are. Is it?
Yeah, advice for doctor's surgery. Yeah.
That selection of the board gets hit so frequently with the dice rolls, and usually that orange section or the pink cards, a pretty safe place to try and buy.
And I'm somewhat similar. I do like these sort of the baby blue ones. So something like, is it Euston Road?
Yeah, that was bluey. Yeah, Euston Road was blue. Yeah.
Is it one of them prison?
That's near the prison. Yeah, that's near the jail. Yeah. And I also like the greens as well because they're quite regular drops.
Oh,
as
is it
well.
Oxford Street?
Yes, Oxford
Yes.
Street, Bond
Yeah.
Street.
They're
Regent
quite good
Street.
ones to get. So you can rack up the prices of those things quickly.
I love the red ones. I like the Strand was one that I used to like
What's
getting.
It's not Leicester Square, is it?
Yeah, Kerry in the chat says she likes Pall Mall or Pall Mall.
Oh, that's one of the pink ones, wasn't it, Pall Mall? Yeah. But a joke aside, though, I used to love. I mean, whoever landed on Old Kent Road first would always buy it, wouldn't they? Because I could get my houses on it.
The brown ones are
Absolutely.
great though, because once you get a hotel on them, you get some money from them.
You do,
And they
yeah.
are cheap
And
to
you
build
lose
up.
it when you go around the board.
Yeah. Pasco, collect £200, pay rent, 80 quid. Damn you.
Everybody knows the frustration.
Always
If you
tend to
pass
land on Old
go,
Kent Road, don't you?
you pass go, collect the 200, and you land immediately on income tax, and you have to pay it all straight away.
Yeah. Just like life.
My 200's gone. That's too realistic.
Nice.
Yeah, while Mark's beavering away, I think it's time to bring. It's early in the show, I know, but bring
the
you some
deep entendres.
news.
It's the news.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. It is time for the news, and we are bringing you the news of March's Community Day Classic, one that Whitfield will roll his eyes at, Mark will have a bit of a smile, and I'm thinking, actually, we've got a croc at the beginning of the month. We've got a croc at the end of the month. Yes, Totodile Community Day Classic is coming in Pokemon Go.
They're either going for a Florida theme or an Australian theme for the month of March.
That's a good point, actually. It is. Crocs all around. Now, March's Community Day Classic is going to be at the end of the month, March the 22nd. It's a Saturday between 2 and 5 p.m. The featured Pokemon, as we said, is Totodile.
Oh yes, the big jaw Pokemon is back, and of course Totodile is going to be featured more frequently in the wild with a lovely shiny boosted chance, and of course the featured attack is the typical Hydro Cannon for your water type starters, and you can actually evolve it consistently all the way up to 10 p.m. on March the 29th. There's a whole week afterwards, which I think is sick, honestly, that they do that now. Of course, being a modern community day of 2025, you can pay 2 of your finest US dollars, or the equivalent, in your local currency to acquire the Community Day Classic Special Research. It will probably just be called Community Day Classic Totodile.
They don't bother with the clever titles, do they, for the classics?
It's a shame. But the rewards are still pretty solid. It's kind of typical. You get the premium battle pass, the rare XL candy, additional encounters with Totodile, and 3 encounters with Totodile that have the special season background, which we still don't know what the new season is. Stay tuned for when tickets go live, of course, and you can gift them to friends on your friends list who are great friends or higher. And of course, tickets are non-refundable. Duh. There will be the Community Day Classic Continued Research. This is timed for a week afterwards. That will give you 1 or 2 more special background-themed Totodile catches, which is A-okay.
That's not too bad, actually. The event bonuses, you can see that Niantic don't really care about event bonus. They put it that far down because you're not paying the money for the event bonuses.
It's not very many this time around.
There isn't, and it's the lamest bonus that we actually have in the game. The 1/4 hatch distance when eggs are placed into incubators during the event. I'm sorry, people, but it's probably not going to drag you out. Lure modules will last for 3 hours when activated during the event, and Incensed, excluding your daily adventure incense, will also last for 3 hours. There will be snapshot surprises for taking photographs during the community day, which, Mark?
That'll be 5.
Yeah, 1 more than 4.
Yep, and 1 less than 6.
That's the second classic in a row where they've put the quarter egg distance on it. They did it for routes as well.
Yeah.
Dead. Of course, field research is going to be basically exactly the same as every single community day under the sun. You can catch yourself some Totodile to earn rewards such as Stardust Great Balls and additional encounters with Totodile and more, so there'll be Ultra Balls and Pineaps in there. Oh, and the chance of getting a special background from your field research is still there, but you have to be somewhat lucky.
And there'll be showcases. Yay! So there you go.
At the same stops, yeah?
At the same stops.
At the different stops, which are the same ones that might be slightly in the same spot as the previous ones, but in a different position.
Absolutely. And we'll move on to the second piece of news today. It's actually kind of old news now. They dropped this just after we recorded last week, but Pokemon Go is partnering with Major League Baseball, which is pretty epic in and of itself. So there will be, at all MLB ballparks, there will be official branded Pokestops and gyms, so trainers can play Pokemon Go while they're watching a baseball game. Why would you do that? Watch the game, drink a beer, eat a hot dog, just do baseball-y things.
Catch a baseball-themed Pokemon.
If you want to, yeah. So during the season, trainers will be able to continue the fun by attending Pokemon Go-themed ball games. Here's a few things trainers can expect during these games. So Pokemon Go and club-branded merch. Nice. Exclusive in-game avatar items.
Nice.
Timed research awarding exciting, not normal, but exciting Pokemon encounters.
Nice.
And raid battles where trainers can have a chance to catch Pokemon with a location background.
Nice.
That actually is pretty good. If I was actually in the States and there was a ball game on, that in itself is actually worth doing.
That's a very limited, really limited exclusive background catch.
It is. Now, I wonder if you could actually just go to the ballparks and get them. You wouldn't necessarily need the ticket, so maybe you could just go to a ballpark while there's a game on.
Speaking as someone who couldn't give less of a duck's quack about baseball or sports really in general, I hope so.
Yeah, and there is a little bit about the thrilling themed games that will take place. There's
Noise.
probably
Chasing the
about
tail.
12 or 13 listed. Go to the announcement on PokemonGoLive.com for more information. But you know what? Actually, that is pretty good. We never get anything like this in the UK, and that is pretty epic, to be fair.
What could they do in the UK?
Where you've got cricket or football, or soccer, as the Americans would say.
Croquet.
Croquet.
It'd be like point to point. It'd be, won't it, or polo or something like that.
I want a special background from curling. Thank you very much. That'd be great if we do a tie-in with the Olympics. No, let's do a tie-in with the Olympics and have special backgrounds.
The Olympics haven't been in London for a long time.
No, it's wherever they're going, obviously.
But there is one more piece of news, and I'm going to pass it over to you boys because, unfortunately, I'm not going to be involved in this one.
No, Ian has decided to stay in the sunny side of California for this one, but I do have the pleasure of confirming that Masterful 27 and I will be playing Global Unova Tour in the holy grail of places to play, Ealing, Walpole Park. Yes, so we're going to be there both days,
So
both
the Holy
Saturday
Grail.
and Sunday.
You chose poorly.
You chose poorly. Yours is costing you a lot more money.
That's something like How I Met Your Mother, isn't it? Ian?
It is. Choose wisely.
Noise.
But yes, Mark and I will be playing the event in Ealing for
And the
both
Italian.
Saturday
You'll be
and
there, won't you?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Italian shall be present, as well as quite a few other people, I'm hoping. Let's find out. Should be a good turnout for it. It was smashing for Sinotaur last year as well.
And Go
really,
Wild
really good
as well,
turnout.
actually, just a few
Go
weeks
Wild
ago.
was
Yeah.
epic. So hopefully we can get a lot of you coming over. Ping us on socials. We'll be putting out information shortly about Global Unova Tour meetup. Let us know if you're going to come and join us. There will be a campfire event as well, so you can link up and hopefully get some rewards through that as well.
I will be there fully as well, not half
Yes.
of me. No threat of me turning up in
No, not the 3'5" version of him.
The cardboard version of him.
That'll be jokes. And get the cardboard Mark and real Mark together.
You need a cardboard waterfall, wouldn't you, actually, for the evening?
Yes.
It also costs less because you're shorter.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Only about
Anyway.
40 quid.
You just do the old Richard Hammond joke with me, wouldn't you? You'd get like a 3-foot one.
So we were able to get a discount on this one. We've got a kid's height printout.
He's a short arse. Can we have a discount?
There's less ink required on this one. No, it should be a really good day, and I'm very much looking forward to it. 'cause-
Hopefully, double figure temperatures. It's due to increase into sort of low teens, isn't it, next week?
Oh my god!
And that's quite epic for the UK in
Yeah, it's
the
depressing.
end of
Isn't
February.
it?
Yeah, we'll be putting sun cream on, won't we? If it gets to 11 degrees, there'll be a bit of a panic
We're
going
hoping
on.
it acts like
I'll
whale
dare
blubber
say
to
I
seal
will
from the
be putting
cold.
sun cream on.
Don't get torched, Ian.
I always say this, Ian, it reminds me of Seville, where you said to Milo, you go, it'll develop. And it didn't, which is
Oh,
frustrating.
he did. Milo was red raw when he came home.
He was actually. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Listen, like I think white, Black Kyurem, people,
Yes.
fun. And in warmer climates, it's the first big event of the year, the calendar year,
Nice.
the global event out of the in-person traveling. This is the first everyone can play it in their
Global,
communities.
yeah.
It's going to be fun. Bring it on.
Noise.
Well, so that was fun, talking about that. But something probably not as entertaining or as fun happened on Saturday. Just gone. We had one of the many dates in our calendars, certainly for the next couple of months. And we had Hooper Raid Day. People were questioning why Shiny Hooper was not released as part of this event. Well, you should all know by now. And if you haven't listened to last week's, I'm not going to tell you again. But there's a reason why not. There you go. I was sort of saying to you boys last time, first time this is available for everyone to get from remote raiding, because this was originally locked into, there was an event, and then there was elite raids.
Good old
So this-
elite raids.
Noise.
God rest their soul.
Rest in pieces.
Rest in pieces, yeah. So it was a great opportunity for a lot of Dex entries for people that have not had the opportunity to either have not been playing the game because they've joined it since those events happened or couldn't take part in them because of the format of their release of the game. So Hooper Raid Day, I was down away, had a nice weekend away on the south coast, down in Bournemouth.
Did you meet Saul?
No, I wasn't going down to meet anyone. I was just down to have a nice little break and proper time away from everything. So, Jesus Christ, if I tried to tie meeting people down playing Pokemon Go when I'm away on my holiday, a long weekend away, I think I'll be looking for a new shed to live in. So, but no, it was nice to be down there, and it was nice. You know, I did 2 or 3 raids. I had a decent Hooper. We shared that last week. If you don't know what it is, listen back. I'm not going to say it again. Yeah, I didn't need anything from it, but I did like the Rare Candy XLs dropping, even though I just only did a couple of remote raids. That was nice. And it's just nice to take some photos of it with the sand and the beach in the background, because I think it's quite a nice one to do a little bit of photography with. I think it's quite nice, actually. Not breathtaking. There's more fun things coming up to save those raid passes for. I can see why they did it, and I think it was actually a really nice event to put in on a Saturday. So, boys, how did you play it?
Minimally, I would say, to be honest. So I wasn't ever really going to go super hardcore for it, because we have LA this weekend and we have Global Unova Tour next weekend. And as things stand, I personally rather chase for a Shundo Kyurem through both of those events rather than get yourself something that can't be shiny as a Hooper. Now, I did say last week that Hooper Unbound is a really solid, usable Pokemon. And the only one I kept in my storage was my research one from 2021, which was horrendous. So I wouldn't necessarily mind if something was decent, but I think I did about 20 raids in total, 2 or 3 remotes, 17, 18 in person. But it very much was a case of just doing a very local cluster, because as the event started, the UK weather prevailed and just pissed it down with rain. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, could you not just get this? Come on, Blighty, for crying out loud. Get it done in the morning when we don't need it. Literally 2 o'clock struck, rain down. I'm like, do you know what? As things stand, I don't want to be trekking around in the rain for this one. I have got to be honest.
We did 18 raids, so you was out for about 2 hours.
Well, the odd one really, with, nearby gyms and stuff like that. So we were home very quickly, to be honest, after not too much of a session. And I did call it a day at about 4 p.m. really properly. That was including the few remotes here and there. So the best one I got was a 93, or 3 93%ers, but they were all like 14 or 13 attack, and I was like, do you know what, I don't care. At some point down the extensively long roadmap, Hooper will get its shiny somewhere.
This is the thing, this is a Pokemon Company roadmap. It's nothing to do with Niantic.
But we've seen that recently they've been dropping the likes of Meloetta shiny. Now we've got Incarnate Enamorus was released as shiny, and Manaphy was released as shiny via completing different Pokedexes through home. So it doesn't sound beyond reasonable that eventually,
and it probably will at some point,
could follow that same pattern, and then eventually you might get another raid day for Hooper that would be actually somewhat useful.
In 2028.
Potentially, yes. But as it stood, it's like, hey, it's the weekend before LA. I don't mind not chasing this one too hard. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, got to be honest. What about you, Vasa?
I agree. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. However, and you may have seen this in Ely, there wasn't the buzz for it. Quite a few people like them.
Yeah.
Nah, can't be shiny, can't be bothered. We had a few people out, and I did 9, and that was pushing it because people were going, I'm just using my free passes and then I'm done. So like 7 raids. The RNG, it might have just been our group, or they may have tweaked the stats that people were getting. But in the group I was with, and there was like 7 people, there was 3 98%ers, I think 1 or 2 hundos, quite a few 96%ers.
You were just very lucky. Good. Grantham was the place to be.
I got 2 98% ones in the first 5 raids.
That's it.
Jesus, Ian.
I think the best we saw here was Francesco with the 96. Everybody else got absolute trash.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to John. He got the hundo on the first raid, but he persevered and carried on with us. And then Ben managed to get a 96. So the stats were good. But again, there wasn't a huge appetite for it.
Yeah, the appetite isn't there. It's a weird one, isn't it? I'd question if people would have done the Dynamax birds if they weren't shiny. Do you know what I mean?
Speaking of Dynamax, I need to actually say well done to Milo, because last week, jokingly, we said you needed to live stream Pit of Max Monday, and you actually made a video for it, which I'm very surprised at.
Did you, Milo?
Well, I like my pigeon.
Oh, bless you, mate. I didn't know you'd done one, mate. Fair play to you.
Did a handful or just over of Pidove.
I don't know how you managed to make like a 12-minute video out of it.
No, I don't. That's amazing. Well done, bud.
CA. Complete arse. I can do it. No, the Shiny Glaring Articuno number 2 helped on that one.
Fair
Well
play.
done, mate.
Yeah, fair
well
play.
done.
Hey, why not go out for a Max Monday? But it's that sort of thing. Not everything is going to be everybody's cup of tea or cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and that will be no one's cup of tea. So, yeah, well done, Milo. Well done. I'm proud of you.
I'll take the steaming pile of effluence instead.
Yeah. So moving on from Hooper Raid Day, it's been a while, but people have actually remembered our phone number. It's time for some WhatsApp messages, boys. So we've got a couple of WhatsApp messages to go through tonight. And the first one is from a long-time listener, long-time contributor, making some observations about another content creator's content.
Hi chaps, it's your old friend Pen Pal Simon here. I was just wondering if you guys had seen any of Cricket 23's new short videos on social media. She gives us a glimpse at some of her tips. She's got amazing tips. They're very pertinent parts of the game that she deals with. And for anyone who's not seen them, I would really recommend watching as many videos with her tips in as possible. Thanks.
I think we do like other content creators' angles when it comes to revealing content, and I think Cricket does display her tips in a very different way, I'd say, to other content creators, and I think she's quite prevalent at the moment. And I think it's right in your face as well, isn't it? It's good.
Well, a few people go down that route, but less than 60 seconds, some tips and information never goes badly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Cricket's tips very well presented, but then again, so is Pokédex's and Billy's.
I haven't got quite the same.
They don't make the same point, do they?
Shall we say?
They don't make the same point. I
No,
think.
they don't actually. No, thinking about it.
No. But no, I think every content creator's got tips. It's just how they display them, I guess, to make it easy for people to see them, I guess.
Exactly.
But, yeah, good point. Well done, Simone. Good to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We'd like to see your tips as well one day, Si. Lovely. Thank you.
Mips.
I think Coops did actually when he was in Portsmouth. Anyway, we're not done yet because...
More observations, please.
More
Hey,
observations.
Barcelona.
We have observations. Up next, Saul's been on.
Yes.
He's heard. He heard I was down there. Bless him.
Boys, just
What
wanted
tips
to
have you
put
got
my
for us
2 pence
today?
in about the so many events and being a community ambassador around it. It's not fun.
I thought it wouldn't be.
Purely for the fact that I'm getting a lot of FOMO because I'm trying to work my daily life around trying to put events in and get people excited, get more people into the group. It's just it's exciting for me to do, and the only reason I can get past it so easily, like not all the struggles, but like there's so many events. We've now got 2 community ambassadors. Our second one applied after me, like a couple of months after me, and now he is now a community ambassador, and that relieves a lot of pressure off of me. So then he can go down on days I'm busy, I can go down on days he's busy, and what makes it 10 times easier for our community is he lives literally seconds away from the park that we've set our community at. So he can be down there every raid day, every raid hour, every spotlight hour, if he wants to.
Whilst you're in your house, Sol, yeah?
The fact that he loves to he has his own kids and wife himself, it's the fact that he loves the game, wants to go down, wants to get everybody excited
That's
for
good.
the events, and
Enthusiasm.
loves the game himself. And the fact that he's got community ambassador against his name gives him more of an oomph to go out. And the same with me. It's just the fact that I've got a missus that doesn't like Pokemon.
That's not going to help.
For me to actually get out and do the
Change
events
it.
I want to do, but we try and do one every 2 weeks. So if one weekend is within that 2 weeks, I can do both events on one weekend for that 1 week, and then miss a week, then do it again the next. That's my personal life around community ambassadors anyway, and especially with this season coming up, it's going to be absolutely insane, chock-a-blocked, full of just where are we going? Who's going here? Where are we going to meet up? Or it's raining? Or are we cancelling this time? Or do you know what I mean? Having this many events for the game is good to bring more people, bring the Indonesian grandmas out to, what was it?
Singaporean, dear boy.
Singaporean.
Just bring them out. Literally
They've
bring
all
out
got humid
your mum,
climates,
your,
haven't they?
your dad, your dog, your cat. This is what Niantic are trying to do to boost their downloads or whatever.
Bring you Monopoly pieces.
And there feels like that with the Community Ambassador program as well. I know I'm going on a little bit, I'm sorry, but with the Community Ambassador program, you can see that a lot more people each month are getting through, and the numbers are getting higher and higher of Community Ambassadors around the world. So they're trying to do something, that something will be coming with this Community Ambassador scheme, or I don't know what's going on, but a lot will be. I think a lot will be coming out in the next few years of what's going on, what they're going to be doing with it, or are we going to get? Do you know? I don't know, but there is a lot of talk in the Discord chat of community ambassadors, and I'm never really on it because I can't read anyway. But but the bits I do see are quite exciting. But there are a lot of events this season. Try and get through them. I don't think we're going to be doing any all of them, and I'm 100% sure I'll be getting FOMO myself. So but have a good week, guys. Always lovely to hear your voices, and see you soon.
I mean, my immediate take on that, Sol, is I think they're doing as much as they can to get rid of FOMO by having too many events. I think eventually people are gonna be like, you know what, I can avoid this weekend.
She's got amazing tips. They're very pertinent parts of the game that she deals with. And for anyone who's not seen them, I really recommend watching as many videos with her tips in as possible.
That for a second.
I thought you clipped it.
No, you've recorded both sound bites, Vassar, I think.
Ian, that's a great clip of Simon. But that's a great clip of Simon. She's got amazing tips. That's a great sound bite. That is a fantastic.
No, that's us from 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, you're right, Ian. You're right.
That's one way to try and remove FOMO, but he's not wrong. I've seen on social media so many people are now being accepted into this community ambassador program, which is fantastic. More people being involved, more groups, more communities.
I think the application process now is you just need to let them know your name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
if
CA.
you play the game.
Hello.
CA. Francesco's.
That's very nice. Oh dear.
Actually, at one point, Francesco was going to go for CA, wasn't he?
When it was done with Sylph Road.
But he didn't
Saul,
want to have to
you're not wrong.
PvP tournaments, if I remember correct.
No, I can't blame him.
Who does want to do that?
It's not
because that was going
anymore.
to be criteria. But Saul completely understand. We felt very similarly, really, when we saw that list of events. You just think, how on earth can you hope to do all of them? And I guess earlier in the Community Ambassador program, it would have been expected of you. I know that talking to Vince, you have to set up every event, even if you're not necessarily going to be there yourself. But every raid hour, every spot hour, every whatever. So having more than one ambassador in an area is fantastic. Really, really good.
So where do we go from that then, boys? I know Whitfield cunningly won last week's game to become the game lord. So I've given him a game that he loves bringing to us.
It's a shame it's not my favourite one.
Well, I did think about that, but we'll probably be playing that in LA.
This is always a good one to whip out of the back catalogue, shall we say. So play your Dex Right. This is basically a game of higher or lower numerically in the Pokédex. So I'm going to ask Ian and Mark in turn, is this Pokemon higher or lower numerically in the Pokédex than this other Pokemon? If they answer correctly, they will hear... And
well, let's be honest, we're likely to hear.
If they answer incorrectly, they're going to probably hear a lot of that.
That's more likely.
Yeah.
So, best of 5.
Okay, first to 3, yep.
First to 3, best of 5. Essentially, let's see how it goes. And, straight away into one of them.
Yep, straight into the Mexican standoff. Actually, Mexican standoff. We could go back down to San Diego.
Well, just for that, Vassar, I would like you to
teasing
tell
you with
me
a Mexican bird.
The Mexican bird does Hawlucha sit higher or lower in the Pokédex than our favourite egg hatch Pokemon, Carbink?
I believe it's lower.
He knows his Mexican birds. Hawlucha is 2 lower than the terrible Pokemon that can't be shiny.
It's an awful Pokemon. Please release the shiny Carbink, Niantic.
Please.
Roadmap.
Absolutely.
Bring it closer on the roadmap.
The road map.
2037, I've heard.
There'll be a few more Go Fests here and there. Anyway, Marky Boy, can you tell me, is Noibat higher or lower in the Pokédex than the G&T Ice Cube Bergmite?
I think Noibat's higher.
You are correct. The bat is very much higher than the Ice Cube.
And
Nice ice
actually,
baby.
you know how we joked about 2036 for the release of Shiny Carbink?
Yeah,
At the latest, it's going to be the tour next year.
good news.
Moving on, back to Wasserfowl for this one. Each of you have a point at this point in time. So, Ian, tell me, is Dewpider higher or lower in the Pokédex than Marini?
This one I'm not as sure about as the last one. I'm going to guess higher.
Dewpider is indeed higher than Marini. Back to Marky Boy to try and equalise. 2 of our favourite Pokemon here. Tell me, is the Turtonator higher or lower than the Todger?
I think Turtonator's higher than the Todger.
I'm afraid the Turtonator is sitting a bit lower than the Todger.
Poor Todgy.
So, Vassar
This
for
is for the win, isn't it? Wow.
Lewin. And we're going to go with something more recent, shall we say. So, Ian, can you tell me, does Hooper sit higher or lower in the Pokédex than Diancie?
Ooh.
Both mythicals.
Both mythicals. I think it's lower.
Hooper is higher than Diancie. So Marky Boy is still very much back in the game. Marky Boy was sticking with mythical. So, the new shiny mythical of Meloetta, is it higher or lower in the Pokédex than Keldeo?
Meloetta's higher, isn't it?
It does indeed sit higher
Is
in
it?
the Generation 5 Dex. So, we're back to a... This is for the win.
Ooh.
So, Wasserfowl, you like yourself a little cup of tea?
I've been known to drink a cup of tea occasionally.
Maybe a cup of coffee. Depends. It is possessed. I would like you to tell me, is Sinistea higher or lower in the Pokédex than Toxel?
Ghost and poison. Can't remember which way round they are. Lower.
Sinistea sits higher in the Pokédex. So, Marky, if you get this one correct, you are the winner. Is Bulbasaur? No, we are going to go for some Tier 3 raidables. So, the Pokemon that might be cropping up in conversation very shortly, Delmise. Is it higher or lower in the Pokédex than your favourite balloon dog dragon, Drampa?
Lower.
I'm afraid Delmise is higher. I guess we have to go for one more then, do we?
Mm.
Joy of joys.
Can you tell that we're both done now, Whitfield?
Milo's
Yeah, I
like,
can tell. Do you know what? For the first time ever, I'm going to make this quick fire. The first person who answers this correctly is the winner.
okay.
It's not a Bulbasaur Pikachu, is it?
No, but can you tell me which of these Pokemon is higher in the Pokédex? So you've got to give me a Pokemon name out of these two. Marshadow or Poipole?
Poipole.
Marky is the winner with the quickest reflexes there. Poipole indeed sits a little bit higher in the Gen 7 Dex than Marshadow.
Woohoo!
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Marky Boy.
I thought I'd got that.
You were
I
very
genuinely thought I'd
close.
got
It was
that.
very close, but Poipole was indeed correct. Marky, I am very proud
You're
of you,
not
sir.
Game Lord next week because we're in LA.
The buck shall
Oh
be
yeah,
passed over.
I didn't know you were. That's the first I've heard
I mean,
about
right now.
that.
Right now.
Yes, right now, yeah.
Next Tuesday, Marky.
See you next Tuesday, Marky.
You are the Game Lord.
See you next time.
Yes. I guess feeding off of that, we mentioned Delmise. Do you want to kick us off, Marky, talking about the beloved Bloody Buddy event.
No, it's a good job. I had to Google what this event was because I thought it
We
was the
didn't
one
explain it well enough.
No, it wasn't. No, I think we'll talk about Scatterbug tonight as well, because obviously that'll have been and gone by the time we come to this show coming out on day one. But as we record this, but yeah, Beloved Buddies, that was an event that happened. Goodness gracious, it finished last week. Actually, it finished on Saturday.
Yeah,
Tuesday to Saturday. Yeah,
on the 15th of Feb. You know, I don't like to be that person. I forgot about this event already when I saw it on there. I was like going, Beloved Buddies? I don't even think, and I didn't finish the research, didn't finish the time research, didn't do any of the bits with it, and actually realised that all I did on it was raid Delmise once, got it. My opinion is it was an awful event, you know, no shiny to chase, no reason why Delmise shouldn't have been shiny released for it, because it just totally broke the moulds of the free tier raid releases of these. So, you know, we know it'll stay there in the egg pool moving forward, and it won't be shiny just to annoy us.
Oh, yes.
Trying to do future events. I'm not going to say anything more than an uninspiring event. Didn't play it. You know, I like the fact that the Beatles were both around, you know, not the band, the Volbeat and the Illumise, as I always call it, Illumise. You know, and any event that has Hippo Down appearing in 3-star Rage as a highlight really deserves to be sort of put in room 101. It was nice to get Enamorous. Yay, finally got my Enamorous. But, you know, awful event.
You can use that against Kyurem White, you know. Yeah,
and I probably won't, Ian. But it's I was very happy not to be playing this event. Keep doing that on weekends. Free up my weekends for me, please. But go on, I'm sure you boys played it and had fun with it and did content around it. Go on, talk to me. I've not seen any of it, but how did you guys...
I want to know is, did you, Whitfield, manage to get your Dunsparce?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Wow, I got 2 shiny Dunsparce.
Bro, I tell you, Dunsparce hates me. Actually, out of pity. So I didn't, because I was unwell that past week for that event, which, as it turns out, was probably the best week to be unwell because the event was so god-awful. But I got my birthday shiny traded to me because Marta got a shiny Dunsparce. On my birthday.
You do need a second one for when the evolution drops.
So I was like, oh, fantastic.
It felt like that, didn't it?
It did feel like eternity. Now, go on, Vasa. How did you do apart from your Dunsparce wins?
Well, the Dunsparce was kind of like Niantic trolling me because the 2 Dunsparce I got, I just happened to tap on them. The Pokemon that I was actively chasing during this event was the shiny Remoraid. And I still need that purple Barracuda.
Same.
It's not happening for Vassafal, so I was tapping on every single one, and I'm not pretending that I played it anywhere nearly as much as some people did, because I have a job that has very long days, so it was generally evenings and a little bit of Saturday. But yeah, trolled by the 2 Dunsparce. I got my Dex Delmise. In fact, I got 2 or 3 of them, but none of them were particularly amazing. It wasn't a particularly great event, let's be honest. And Whitfield, you've just obviously told us that you were sick during the event and had your Dunsparce traded. Were there any highlights other than the fact that you were on the toilet and in bed most of the week?
Not particularly, no. I mean, the event very much sailed on by, really, which is quite appropriate given what Delmise is, really. All I can say is that it was the classic age-old thing of a new Pokemon, not even a new shiny Pokemon, just a new Pokemon in the 3-star raids. And I think from my local gym clusters, which from my bed, when I was feeling like death's door, I can see about 15 or 16 gyms. It was about 7 or 8 hours before a Delmise actually appeared.
It's a new catchphrase, isn't it? It's not I live on 7 stops,
yeah.
I can see 15 gyms.
But that's not that special if you live in a city.
Ooh. We don't live in cities, Milo, so we can't compare that.
Well, exactly.
We live in similar-sized towns, surrounded by fields.
That's your mistake.
Milo.
The one thing I would say about playing this event from home and not really actively going out is like, do you know what? I'm going to pop a couple of lures down. The lures lasted an hour, and there were really good Stardust bonuses from this event. And that was the
Were you
only...
Sheldon chasing?
Yes. And the other Pokemon that gave an extra 500 dust per catch, which were the likes of, I think it was Dunsparce, Cutiefly, and
Meowth.
and a few others. Meowth,
Yeah,
well, that's a
Q5 didn't
standard
shine
one.
for me either. No.
But honestly, it was like, okay, I can just get some Stardust. And that was the only redeeming feature of this entire event, as it was actually just quite a good excuse to just catch things incredibly casually. The Delmise was kind of a one and done. I did a handful here and there to try and level up with some people, which was fine, but I think I did like 4 in the total of the event. However, I did have one very good day where I popped the daily adventure incense and ended up with 3 shinies from it. This was obviously after I was better, so I think it was the Thursday. Got the lovely orange Shelder, got the Nidoran male, and Ian's not quite favourite Pokemon, Minun.
Oof, to all 3.
It's all right.
Mine's a
It
cute
could
little
be
pink
worse.
green, isn't it? It's the
mint
green, isn't it? The
It's
mint
lovely,
green.
but
It's
orange
the better of
Shelder's
the two,
nice.
Yeah, the peppermint ears.
Yeah. But honestly, it's nothing really to crow about with this event. It's like, gained some Stardust, got 1 new Pokedex, and kind of that was that, really.
Well done,
Okay, so-
Milo, for clicking on mine. And I thought that
Yeah, well
that takes
done. Yeah.
Well, when you're at
takes
home and you've got your home cluster and you think, I should really just catch everything because it's here.
Yep. So very quickly, without elaboration, scores, boys. Marky,
3 out of 10.
A distinctly average 5.
and I'm also going to concur that 5. It wasn't a great event. And let's just really quickly top line the current event that's running as we record this, the Scattered to the Wind event. So this is the event that brings into Pokemon Go the shiny Scatterbug. And so far, I've been pinning postcards, but I'm nowhere near actually getting any encounters.
Now, biggest criticism of this event is people have been playing the game and buy into the postcard thing and have been getting Scatterbugs for quite a long period of time, worse off at getting encounters of Scatterbug
Yeah,
from
'cause it
people
takes
that have
Because
never...
you
more
pin more
pins.
to actually get
Yeah,
the reward.
I'm at the
Yep.
point, I need 15
Yeah.
of each type to get it. And actually this event, unfortunately, is probably only going to give me a very small opportunity to encounter them.
Yeah, but the good thing is it will remain as a spawn from pinning.
Yeah, but there is
postcards.
that, event shiny boost, which given the event is only 3 days because it doesn't overlap onto LA and Taipei this weekend.
Frustration, though, I can't delete postcards. I've an error. I just can't delete postcards in the games. Don't know why it's not
You
letting me
can't do
do
the clear
that.
out. It's like, please get rid of whatever this is. You have to find the
Could buy more
duplicates.
storage. That's probably a sneaky Niantic.
Sneaky storage.
Anyone got a shiny Scatterbug? I know people have got it already on the first day, but have any of you guys got it?
No joy. Nah, and I've done quite a few Scatterbug because I'd lined up my Scatterbug. A few of the medals or the foot patterns were like 1 or 2 away. I was like, okay, I can get a couple of them.
Did you know this was coming then, Milo?
Well, we read it
Yeah, it was
out.
announced, like,
Yeah, no, but what I mean is, like, to do that, you can't just, that's not some, you will need 15 to 20 per one for yours, surely. Have you not been
Yes.
doing Pinga?
No, I do,
That's
I
why
do.
we've had like a week, 10 days to prepare, so
Yeah.
it's probably.
But bear in mind, I'm particularly below average when it comes to opening gifts, let
true,
alone
actually.
pinning them.
That's
Because
So
if
is
I'm-
Mark, though, to be fair.
I don't know about you guys, when I'm opening gifts quite regularly for the last year or two, I've not bothered pinning them. And
I haven't
only-
pinned any UK ones, but I have always pinned international
only
ones.
if it's a really cool postcard.
You
like
pin and
somewhere
unpin
nice.
it, don't you? And you get the,
Yeah.
it counts.
But that's like 2 extra clicks.
I hope you pinned the farmer's dog.
Well, we went there ourselves, dear
Yeah,
boy.
but you still pin it. You
Yes,
still.
we pin it ourselves from our own gift thing. Doesn't matter.
So, guys, stupid question, because it'd be
No
too
stupid
late for
questions.
people listening to the show now. But you can only open 60 gifts. So, you're going to have a lot of...
If you have the ticket, yeah.
Yeah, if you got the ticket. So you're going to have a lot of gifts sat in there that you can't open the first time around, so you just have to pin them. Can you pin them and unpin them again and get
No.
it again?
No.
So one
per
pin
gift.
only.
A lot of people aren't going to get a lot of checks on this then, in essence.
That's all it is this event is literally just an event to give a reason to introduce Shiny Scatterbug. There's nothing else beyond it. Because apart from that, I mean, I know Ian will probably be jumping off the ceiling with joy that Pidgey's featured and everything. And Pidgey is quite
It is
common
nice
in
to
the
see Pidgey
research.
spawns. Yeah, it is.
But so far, I've clicked on quite a lot of Pidgey and seen bugger all.
I've probably tapped on about 5 or 6. Not many.
It's all right.
Bit disappointed that they didn't put Scatterbugs in the research test.
That would have been something. Even if it's just your local pattern.
Yeah.
They want you to get onto the postcard thing. They're
But
not going to give it.
that said, this is how they're going to get people doing the postcards more.
And the good thing is we talked about how this is going to be a hard chase. This will become harder and harder because eventually you'll get to 30 of each type per region on your thing. You're just going to keep increase the amount of postcards you need to pin in certain areas.
I think the limit is 15. I don't think you can go above 15. It just sort of keeps rolling over.
Oh, great.
That level.
So
thankfully, it doesn't keep because, oh my God, your local pattern garden for us in the UK, if we kept doing that, I'd be like, right, it's 115 pins to get to your next encounter. You think,
no shiny, try again.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Bear in mind, once it resets, you won't have as many opportunities to open gifts or pin postcards on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I'm going to do, because we sometimes shout out people in our local communities. A big shout out to Leanne. You boys have met Leanne. MK, yeah. Me and him met Leanne again when we did Swine Up Community Day Classic, I believe.
Yep,
when we were over there. Leanne got a day one shiny scatterbug. Well done,
nice,
Leanne.
Nice for some.
Yeah. And I think, no one's going to collect all these. I can't see it ever happening.
JT Valor, probably, if anybody.
No, but it's so random.
So
you need 3 of each, and also there are 2 scatterbug patterns that haven't been introduced yet.
Oh.
So there's still 2 more to go. There's the
Ian.
Pokeball pattern and the fancy pattern.
The fancy
The fancy one.
If I get one, I'm going to leave it as a little scatterbug because I like the silver on it. It's a really
the scatterbug's a
great
really
shiny.
noticeable shiny.
It's a
When
nice
you evolve
shiny.
it to Pavilion, you get just the pattern. It's very difficult to actually see that it's the white bug in there. So the scatterbug's probably the best shiny of the 3.
But anyway, speaking of fancy pants, Whitfield, in a slight change-up, you're bringing us the poll results tonight, aren't you?
Am I? I wasn't informed of this.
Now, hold on here, right? I appreciate that Milo is revealing the poll tonight, Ian, but
Revealing what?
in a plot... No, you know what I
Milo
said.
tonight, yeah.
You
Wow.
know what I
Nice.
said, Milo. In a plot twist tonight, we do have 2 polls. I'm going to do the pre-poll, if that makes sense.
Masterful 2 polls.
Masterful of Milo polls. But
Sneaky Barrow.
sneaky. So anyway, this poll, I'd just like to say, is very different to the one that Milo's going to reveal in a bit. But yeah, we had an Insta poll, and we will wrap this one up once we get the final tally on it, or maybe just as a reference point on our social medias during the week. But yeah, on the Insta poll, we've got 0% of votes for the racing car. So no one's voted
What
for
are
the
you
racing
doing,
car.
people?
And we've had
Jeez.
18% of the vote has gone to the Scottish Terrier, which means that 82% of the vote has gone to the top hat.
Why is Instagram full of hat people?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to let everyone know, Kels Langers, she is a top hat person, and Dreamer Pogo is also a top hat person. In fact, most of them are top hat people, so there we go. But
I genuinely thought the car would win because I thought most people gravitated towards that. But I have used the top hat on occasion.
You found
thank
Instagram's
you for people that
favourite
voted
thing.
for me, but
the
I've got a
hat.
feeling that on X it's going to be a completely different decision.
It's just ended, Milo.
Oh, it has just ended, and oh my goodness me, it was a close one. So let's jump through some of the comments first. Cowboy Hat Caterpie. I'm surprised he hasn't
You want a
picked the
cowboy
hat.
hat?
He's chosen Thimble.
Oh,
Okay.
Thimble.
The Thimble, that's an interesting one. Julia Glass has put in, but mine has to be the cat, with a fantastic gif of a small cat swatting away a human hand at a wad of money.
Francesco likes his cat gifts, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Now we've got Mark's better half, Ash, on here. Obviously the race car, so you can get around the board faster. I like that thinking.
Doesn't work like that, Ash. I've told you this
If
before.
My car has a turbocharger on it. Go forward 2 squares. Mark Bailey has put in, now the traditional trio from us. Jonas picked the dog. Noah was undecided. He normally plays Pokemon edition, so goes Pikachu. There you go. If there is a cat, I have to have that. More traditionally, the boot. There you go. Phil Mottram has put, has to be the cannon.
Ooh.
Cannon, that one that's
I'm-
retired now, isn't it?
I don't think that's even in. I can't remember seeing the cannon
I think
for
that
a
was
long time.
a reference to the COYG. That's a reference to when Arsenal were good. That's when they last put it in the board game. So it's probably been about 30 years.
I thought he misspelled coyote.
Yeah, come on, you gunners! Oh, come on, Phil.
Okay. We've got Kerry Young here saying 60 seconds last vote, the doggo for me. So very much putting in the last minute there. We've got Mike Griffin, always has to be the race car. And Bean Aline, love that name. Usually I go with the boot. So thank you very much,
Not
everybody.
anymore, you don't, but you probably do if you've got an older version of the game.
Yeah, so there's a couple of OG pieces listed in
I'm
there.
looking at 2 versions of Monopoly up on one of my shelves.
We should do Monopoly together, the 3 of us, when we can.
We should. Yeah.
Monopoly with Incensed.
We should do a real life Monopoly in London, go on the streets and do it properly.
Oh
That's
my God.
fun. Yeah.
That's a dangerous thing to do these days. Let's hold off. Let's stick to the board version. So, diving into the actual poll, we had 36 votes, and the final results are the following. It's almost a complete flip around. In third place, with 25% of the votes, the Top Hat. And with a very
Insta's more trendy, though, isn't it? This is the thing.
Top
X is
hats are
quite old and
trendy.
stuffy.
Vassar, have you appealed to like the vintage look?
Have you got a monocle with that top hat in?
Maybe.
Good.
AI at Francesco, if you hear this back. Now, there was only 3% between first and second place on this one. So, the winner, with 39% of the votes.
Did Kerry give this away by
I
saying
think
that she got
Kerry
the last voted?
has.
Yeah.
I think Kerry has swayed this one. The Scottish Terrier takes the dub. So more people would rather be a dog than a car. A lot more people than the Top Hat.
Or combined, more people want to be a top hat or a dog than a car. Yeah, interesting. Quite a lot more Milo, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, while Milo tries to figure out what Mark's just said, let's just move to
Flawless
everyone's
logic.
favourite section of the show.
Shines of the week.
So our first shiny of the week this week is from, Mark Bailey. We just heard about him on the poll. And it is a shiny, lucky Spriggy that was done. And here's the story that goes along with it. A wild kitty appears. Away on a weekend break for Jonah's 10th birthday and suddenly got a DM from Kitty. She'd seen my entry into a showcase and it turned out we all share a February birthday. Well, actually, Mark, you share it with Kitty and Whitfield and me, amongst others. So February's a popular month. And we happen to be in the same place. My birthday is on the 2nd, Kitty's is the 12th, Jonah's is the 17th of February. Happy birthday to you all, by the way. A quick meet-up, photo op, see the attached photo, great little photo, I'll show that to the boys in a second, and a lucky birthday trade weekend for Jonah and Kitty. And an agreement that we need a Midlands meet-up for a community day with you guys. To be fair, if I can drag these two to Derby, where I know you normally play, Mark, then that could be a thing. It may not be a hashtag shiny of the week. Well, it is, but it's certainly a memorable opportunity for a lucky trade. GG's.
Yes, very nice. Shame the cat wasn't on the poll. We're going to dive on to X because this came through in literally within the last hour. We were talking about Shiny Scatterbug. A shout out to Craig Maycroft. Has failed to put hashtag shinies of the week, but it does qualify. He says, I do like a first check shiny. And he's atted Ian and myself and a bunch of other people. He's just nabbed himself the shiny Scatterbug. Insane. Congrats, first check.
GG's, Craig. Great shiny and new. Very new, hot off the press.
Hot off the press, absolutely.
Hot off the pinned gifts.
Off the gifts. Well, Mark Bailey has got involved on Blue Sky. Well done, Mark. Get on
Mark
Blue
Bailey
Sky.
Twice on Shinies of the Week.
Yeah, well, it's on Blue Sky, and that counts. And actually, it's the logo of Blue Sky is a pavilion. Do you like that? Do you see what I did there?
Which pattern?
Milo. Doesn't matter what pattern. It's the shape of it, Milo.
No, it matters.
It matters to me. Mark Bailey's put at incensepodcast.bsky.social. That'll get catchy one year further down the line. At Shinies of the Week, at hashtag Spot the Shiny, the Daily Incense. The incense comes good. I think it's the Shiny Plusle. I think looking at his screen, you can tell by its dark ears, Ian.
The best
There
shiny
it
in
is.
the game.
Barely darker.
I think the marine pattern would go nicely for Blue Sky.
I agree, Milo. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like that. So yeah.
Now, our next shiny of the week, Mark Bailey again for a third time? Actually, no, it's not. I couldn't do that.
Covering
guys.
all platforms.
This one is from Cow in a Suit, and this is from the Incensed Campfire. Now, get this. Snapshot of a Hundo Unbound Hooper with this little message. I know it would have been a Shundo if the shiny was available. Hashtag Hundos of the Week.
I like that logic.
I like your logic there, Cow in a Suit.
Yeah, undoubtedly a Shundo. Epic.
GG's.
I'm very jealous of a Hundo Hooper. That's fantastic. Now we're going to dive into our Patreon exclusive Discord and a shout out to Spindiana in the Flex It Good channel,
Come on,
who has
Chris,
posted
give us something good.
simply Pinky Fly. It was his 2-day cat streak, apparently, for the 15th of February, just gone. So congrats on your shiny cutie fly. It is a glorious little pink shiny.
It's a gorgeous shiny. Well
Fantastic.
done, Chris. Man. Yeah.
And I'm going to try and shoehorn one in for somebody who does not know what the podcast is, does not know what
Mark Bailey?
hashtag Shyness of the Week is, but I'm going to mention it, and hopefully somebody who knows this person might say, listen to our podcast, hashtag Pass on the Pod, because Aidan Schroeder on X has posted, well, this just happened. IC2, so Pavilion will be all white. A shiny Scatterbug with icy variant, but no, it's a Shundo Scatterbug.
Are you kidding?
211 CP. And it is going to be, it's a Sussex in the US of A. Is that Wisconsin? WI? Is that Wisconsin?
Wisconsin,
I think, yeah.
That's the one, but there it is. Look at that.
That's
Look
mental.
at that. 211.
I think Icy Win's one of the more challenging ones to get.
Yeah, so anyone who knows Aidan, tell them about the podcast and comment on our social media over next week, and we'll know if you've been listening.
Yes.
Well done.
That's
Jeez,
insane.
that is epic. It really is.
Hashtag Pass the Pod.
And that is
past the Shundo Scatterbug.
Yeah. I wish somebody would pass one my way. Anywho, keep the Shiners of the Week coming in, especially from Unova Tour, LA, and Global, and Taipei. Nobody's really spoken about that one, but that's still happening.
Paul, expect to hear from him.
Have fun there, Barside, this weekend. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. I just want to say thank you to everybody for listening, supporting the podcast. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. And now is the time where we traditionally thank our patrons. But just want to say welcome to new Patreon member joining the bronze tier today, the Hot Weasel.
A fantastic
welcome
name.
Into the Patreon.
It's kind of an appropriate name for Yungoos, in a way.
Kind of is.
It's got pink
All
hair.
right, go Cass Milo. Come on.
So, welcome.
Come on. welcome to the Incensed
Set
family.
me up for that one beautifully.
Yes. But we have been thanking all of our Patreon members. So if you are on the bronze tier, thank you very much. We do appreciate you. You are the foundation, the sort of the top, the middle layer, silver tier. We've been naming and shaming. Actually, no, naming and congratulating you guys for being silver tier supporters. So KLXVI, Del Hazard X, Spindiana, Laurie Beck, Stephen Norway, CC is Mad, McCloof, Saul Haberfield, Lizzie George, Sander van der Dresch,
well done.
Neonet, Ellen Rushton, thank you, James Alexander, Northern Soph, Tom Cattle, Charlie Todd, Robert Wilson, Miss Summer of 69, Malcolm Grinter, and Geordie Castell. Thank you so much for being on our silver tier. And our
gold
members. Whitfield doesn't need to do it anymore. Let's do this again. I enjoyed that. And our
gold member.
We need to thank you. We want to thank you. We really do support. Yeah. We really do love your support. Thank you for being here. You are the ones that make this podcast what it is, because it affords Whitfield and myself enough time to actually polish it on the edit. As I've said before, Milo applies the spit and I polish that one up. And JB, Clifford Mert, Kerry and Zachary, Barside 2, Mandy Croft, Mr. Mossam, Mufti, and Twiggy25, thank you so very much for being our members in this podcast. That's going to get old pretty quickly, isn't it? But we'll have fun while it lasts. Thank you so very much to everybody. Thank you for listening. And don't forget, you can reach us on any of the socials mentioned at the top of the show, in addition to our email, WhatsApp number, and direct text through your podcast platform. But that is going to do it. We are currently recording a show for you in LA, and we will see you next week. Same time, same place.
Whoa, hold your horses there, Vassar. I have got some good news.
What?
Don't forget the following dates. You'll have a Max Monday for the Lunar New Year favourite Pokemon of Darumaka.
Nice.
The 24th of February will be Darumaka. And of course, you got a Spotlight Hour, boys, for those Unovan starters.
Does that mean you're going to be going mad for your little green buddy?
I'm going to be snivvying around for some pigs and sea otters.
better news.
What?
Wednesday the 26th, you've got... Oh, it's still... maybe not better news. A Genesect is knocking around
I had
in
to
Raid
give you that,
Hour.
Mark, because I know it scarred you.
Oh, I hate it.
Le
Get it.
Genesect.
Genesector.
Je ne sais quoi.
Well, anyway, that is it for 211. We will catch you next week with our live Unova Tour Pasadena special from Los Angeles, California.
See you next time.
He's going to play it again, isn't he?